Good day, fantasy football players. I'm here today to let you know some tips and tricks for getting your fantasy team together. I know some people have been asking how to do this, and so let's get right to it. First of all, the thing that you are going to want to do is to bring up your internet, and then when you have it on there, type in NFL.com. It'll bring up the NFL page, and right here on top, underneath all the teams, you can see it says welcome. If that does not say welcome in your name, it should say sign in or register. Obviously, everyone should have a profile on there right now since you all have teams in the league right now. So just click sign in and then sign yourself in. Or if you're already signed in, just go ahead and click on Fantasy. Fantasy brings up this page, and on the right side here it says the team names that you're in. We're going to go ahead and go to United Press Silver because I bet more people in the Silver League have more questions. On here you can see the leagues on the right side of the page. Winners play here, Will's Way, Jackie's team, Cyclone, so on and so forth. The first thing that you're going to want to do when you get in here, not everyone told me they found where they said, how did your draft go? If you click on this page, it'll give you your draft grade, your projected record, and the projected finish. So make sure you give that a look-see. It's all kind of interesting. Mostly this page is here to try to sell you information on how to make your team better over the season. I wouldn't mess with it, but I think the top page is kind of interesting. Next, you're going to want to go to My Team. Up top, on the very top of the screen, it has these tabs. You want to click on My Team, and it'll show you your current roster. So you can see Winners Play Here is the team, has the little Green Bay logo there, and we've got all the rest of your players. This is Jessica's team, by the way, that I'm messing with right here, so I'm not going to actually do any changes, but I'll show you how to do all the changes that you need to. So to check, you want to click on Game Center up here. This is your team, but it doesn't give you any real information. So go up here and click on Game Center. And on the Game Center, it'll show you the projected totals for Jessica versus Tammy, Winners Play Here versus Will's Way. Jessica's projected to get 128 points, 128.08, and Tammy's projected to get 102.76. As I was saying on draft night, these numbers mean almost nothing, but still it's kind of interesting to go over. And next you want to check on your team lineup. If anyone here is listed in the projected column as 0, they're either not playing or they're not starting. And you probably do not want that player to be starting. Here are the starting players. And here are your bench players. So give it a quick look over, and if you see anybody in that column who you need to switch out with anyone in this column, keep that in mind going forward. You can also kind of see where these point totals come from. Oddly enough, it says up here 102, and it says down here 91. What's that about? I don't know. We'll look into it later. But just make sure your best players are starting, and if you have any players who aren't playing, you're going to want to switch them out. And how you do that is go back to My Team, and let's say T.Y. Hilton right here was injured for some reason. Then she would need to put in another wide receiver, so she goes to Keenan Allen. Click on this and drag it. You see how this bar just kind of goes with me up to T.Y. Hilton's spot. They're switched, and then she's going to want to click Submit. Your roster changes have been saved. Before you make your next roster move, pay for this service, which you don't want to do. But you can see back here on the starting wide receiver spot, Keenan Allen's there, and T.Y. Hilton's down here. So I'm going to switch them back for Jessica so I don't mess up her team. But that's how you switch players on your roster. These blocks under the move category, right on the left side of the screen, move, and then it has these blocks. You click, holding the click button down, you drag it to where you want it to be. Okay? Okay. Now let's say you wanted to make a move on your team, but you don't have a backup for that position, or the backup for that position isn't going to play. So you want to go up here, top of the screen, to Players. You click on Players, and it will show you all the players in the NFL who haven't been drafted by any team. So let's say T.Y. Hilton's hurt, and Keenan Allen is also hurt, so Jessica's going to need a wide receiver. Click on wide receivers, and it shows you all the wide receivers who are left. Jordy Nelson, right here next to his name, it says IR. That means he is not playing this season. If anyone doesn't know that, Jordy Nelson not playing this season. What's even better is projections. If you click on here, it'll give you the top player who's projected for this week. And you can see that Brashad Perriman is projected to get 10.9 points this weekend. He also has this little breaking news thing. So you click on it, you look into it, and it gives you a little bit of information. Apparently this guy has a hurt knee, but the NFL thinks he's going to play. I wouldn't pick him up to pick a roster spot simply because he's hurt. But this is where you go. When you're here and you find a player who you want to play, Jermaine Kearse, let's pick him up. You add the player, and then it takes you to this screen, players to add, Jermaine Kearse, and then players to drop. Because Jessica has a full roster, she can't just pick up the player. She has to pick them up and then drop somebody else. So if Keenan Allen and T.Y. Hilton were hurt and she needed a backup, she would probably drop one of her wide receivers to pick up this guy. Since they're not hurt, I'm going to go down here and click cancel. But if she wanted that player, she would click continue. They would move the players out, and then the player who you dropped would be available for any other team to pick up. And then Jessica would have her player, and then she could go to this page and move him into a starting spot. So after she's done all these moves, I still recommend you go back to Game Center and you look at the board here and make sure that you have all the spots starting that you want, right? So she looks good to go here. And that's how you do basic roster moves. Like I said, I recommend you set it up that you get everything where you want it to be. Keep in mind that the first game this week is going to be Thursday, and I believe that's New England against Pittsburgh is the first game. So if you have anybody on your team who plays for New England or the Pittsburgh Steelers, you need to stick them in a starting spot before Thursday, or you won't be able to move them into a starting spot. Thursday night they play. Once they've played, you can't move them on your roster at all. All right, keep in mind if you have any questions, you call me and you let me know, and we'll try to get that worked out as best we can. I hope you all are doing really well, and let's have a great football season. All right, take care, y'all. Peace.